Good morning guys, and welcome back to my Facebook live stream. And my name is Cheng. I'm a professional photographer, filmmaker and an Olympus ambassador. So if you're new to this live stream, I'm running it daily between Monday to Friday, 11 to 11:30. Most likely I'm going to overrun this actually. So so what this is about, as I suggested, because I'm a photographer filmmaker, so it's talk about photography and filmmaking, but I am specialized in micro four third gear. So if you have anything more specific to this particular platform and Olympus gears, you're very welcome to ask me any question you would like. But because I have been in the industry for over 15 years, so I have a lot of knowledge in terms of more generic questions about photography, how to take better photo, for instance, or better filmmaking things. You are also in the right place as well, so you can ask me anything you wish. But today we have a very special demonstration because a lot of you guys have been asking me about my live stream setup, and also how to do certain things with your Olympus camera in terms of doing like video casts like this, and also perhaps some of you guys may have already seen me doing some a bit of a wireless streaming as well, which is a lot of you guys are quite curious about the entire setup. So today is all about this, how I've set the entire thing up, how I'm connect my cameras to my computer, to my wireless streaming device, and even the lightings, and everything. I'm going to show you everything how I'm going to do this. Good morning, Jason. So shall we get crack on? Hopefully that people will be tuning in and listening to what I'm about to say. So first of all, of course, you would need a computer. I'm not entirely sure what sort of operating system you use. I personally use Macintosh, so that means I use Apple OSs. In terms of streaming wise, you do need a software to organize all the footage and your input streams and stuff like that, and then broadcast it out to other platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, you name it, all the other stuff. But in terms of the streaming thing, you have to kind of understand that this kind of originally started for the gaming community. So not so much about for content creators like myself. This really have ballooned over the last 3 months since the lockdown began because of the pandemic issues around the world. So this has become like a phenomenon suddenly. Everyone is doing live stream. Everyone is doing it, whether it's going to be on Facebook or YouTube, and suddenly people who are outside of the gaming community are starting to do live stream. But most of the people will struggle in terms of the setup to get, let's say, better sound, better video footage, because they most likely going to use built-in webcams on the laptop or through the phone. Potentially you will have hooked up some sort of better cameras. I mean, this exists for a long time already. The gamers use actually better cameras for streaming, because they do this for the past 5 years or 6 years, and since the gaming online gaming community has grown dramatically. So this whole photography, filmmaking, content creators, live streaming thing, it really has ballooned and since the pandemic started. So today purposes, I'm going to tell you exactly what I use to connect everything together, from the camera to the computer and everything. So let's go back to my computer. I was talking about computer. So depending on what sort of computer you use, you can use different softwares. You have to try them all out to find out which one is better for your purposes. They're all doing similar things, and one of the most famous and most popular and free is OBS, a streaming software. You can download them because it's open source software. You can download them free of charge online. And the one that I'm using, because I'm not as techy, when it comes to setting up the live stream stuff, so I use a service called Ecamm, which based on OBS, but then they have a lot of technical people make it a little bit more user friendly, so you can actually do drag and drops. You can have a lot of the presets done already for you, so it's very, very straightforward. So for me, it's really a one-stop shop kind of thing. But for this particular software, you have to pay. In that case, you're paying, I think it's about $120 a year, so about $10 a month, which isn't too bad. But this is the basic version. Then you go to the Pro version, which unlocks a lot more stuff, such as 4K streamings and things like that. But in my particular case, because I know a lot of the platform that I'm streaming to, for instance, Facebook doesn't really support 4K stream anyway, and that is really compressed. So 1080 is more than sufficient. This is why that I'm not upgrading to the Pro version for, you know, save a little bit money as well. But in the future, you never know. If Facebook does eventually support 4K stream to get clearer pictures, I may actually upgrade to better level in a Pro level. So this is the software side, and you do need this sort of software to allow you to stream from your camera to platforms that you would like to showcase. But you can actually also do direct streaming, because I know if you're using Chrome web browser, not Safari. Safari doesn't support any of that. If you're using Chrome, you can actually plug the setup directly to the computer and stream from there. But then you lose a lot of the controls, such as the icon that I'm really placing on my screen here, and the drag and drop facility doesn't really support. So you lose all you simply do is just talking straight into the camera. So in that case, you know, it's not really for made for content creators. It's really mainly for people who just purely just want to talk about certain things without showing you anything at all. But in my particular case, I would like to show you guys, you know, for instance, pictures and other videos, and just like the sequence that you saw at the beginning of this stream, and things like that you can't do with a direct plug into the Chrome software, Chrome's web browser. So you do need a software to organize all these extra contents you would like to display. So there you go. Hope you understand that part of it. So a software to me is very important, very essential to organize everything. Okay, and then what happened is, then you have the capturing devices. Right, this is also very important. So I know at this moment in time, some companies like Canon and Panasonic, I think, are looking into doing a software version of the HDMI signal conversion to the computer. I just kind of put in layman terms, because at this moment in time, if you do have a HDMI enable camera, and you will need a video capture card, something like this. This is the Elgato Camlink 4K. You can also use other you know, video capture cards, where there's going to be a gaming capture card like 1080, all the others. Morning Mark, morning Jason, and morning Hart. So you do need a particular hardware to basically encode your video signals into something that the computers and the software, whatever, understands, and to display it over. So you need something, the dongle thing like this, and there are obviously different model, different manufacturers. Once again, the one that I use, the Elgato, is more established in the gaming community. I know for a fact that, you know, judging by all the reviews and from other people that has been talking about this particular product, is very consistent, very reliable. That's why I went for the Camlink instead of any other brands out there at the moment. But there are absolutely tons of choices out there. You can really feel free to try them all if you wish. Amazon have loads of different brands as well for capture cards. So you can try them, you know, but for me, currently I use the Camlink, and I know for a fact that it's working, and it's working very reliably, because I've been using this now since you guys started watching my live stream 3 months ago on a daily basis. So this thing has been providing my service without fail for the last 3 months. So I know it's good, and I got 2 of them, because today, for today's demonstration purposes, I have one main cam that I'm filming on right now that's connecting to this dongle, and I have another one that's connecting to the wireless streaming, the Hollyland MARS 400S, which I am going to demonstrate in a minute. This thing is spectacular. You know, you really have to see this in action. And I know that Ralph's already purchased the whole set after seeing this, and I know quite a few of you guys are also quite curious about the whole live stream thing in terms of wireless stuff. So it's really, really fun. Okay, so dongle or capture card, more technically, you do need it to basically, for this moment in time, until camera manufacturers caught up and starting to develop software solutions that will enable you plug the camera's USB-C to the computer, and whatever something happens in between, and will allow you to do the streaming directly from the camera to the computer. I know Canon's definitely working on it, and then other companies may follow suit to see what happens. And okay, so now let's talk a little bit about camera. So you know, hopefully you guys, if you've got any question in between that I'm talking about different things, please feel free to ask me. So this capture card is very cool, and you do need one. If you want some suggestion about what capture card I have tried, you can also ask me the questions. I will email you directly. I will also send you the link where to purchase the cam link. But at this moment in time, for what I know, is that all the cam links in the UK are sold out completely. If you try to order one now, some places don't even stock them anymore because they can't get hold of the stocks. But if you go to specialist audio video outlets, you will still find them for pre-order, only because they can't get hold of the stock either. So they are placing the order through the main manufacturers in Taiwan, and then they just have to wait until they come back to you guys. At the moment, I think last time when I checked the Camlink 4K, is that you would need to wait until August now to get one. So this is how long it takes, and this also shows how popular live streaming has become. Previously, you can get these anywhere, even in Argos. You can get the Camlink 4K Plus, but no. Everything is now sold out now, and it's not that expensive. I think it's about £120 or something in the UK. But I, when I did Google trying to search whether I want to get before I get the second one, I was searching where I can get another 4K Camlink, and eBay came out, and eBay people are now selling at a premium at £300 to £400 per unit. This thing is selling like hotcakes, and also in high demand at the moment. So, okay, let's get one. Good morning, Trevor. Hello. Excellent. You guys are tuned in. That's fantastic. Okay. I can see that Mark has a question. Let me see if it bring up the live demo. Actually, I'm going to leave it in the bottom here. So in the moment, because everything's going to be overlaid. So, which Olympus camera can you charge the power as you stream? Right, at this moment in time is the EM1 Mark III, and the I believe the EM5 Mark III can also do it, but the charging rate is quite slow, so I don't know whether it actually has enough power input to kind of use it and streaming at the same time. I know you can kind of power it, so it kind of like reduce the rate of depletion from the battery, but I know the EM1 Mark III is probably the best one at the moment for powering and using at the same time at this moment in time. The EM1X also has it, but I haven't actually fully tried the EM1X for that particular purpose, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so now let's go to the camera. So it's a very good question, since Mark already asked about the question about the camera. So let me tell you like what camera can be used and what cameras you can't use for live streaming. Right, I did mention about HDMI enabled cameras. So basically, any cameras out there with HDMI output theoretically can do it. However, there are certain type of cameras where the HDMI output only for display purposes. So in that case, you won't be able to do live stream, and because you are simply displaying, you know, the playbacks. You know, if a lot of the lower end cameras, even though they have HDMI output, but that only allows you to plug in directly to the TV, so you can see the you know, the images or the video that you captured from directly from the memory card. So that is not really something that you like. So you have to check your particular camera whether that is already enabled for not for live stream, but for monitor, also for recording purposes. So in the Olympus world, the only cameras that allow you to do external monitoring or external recording is the EM1X, EM1 Mark II, EM1 Mark III, EM5 Mark II, and EM5 Mark III. And all the others, even though it has HDMI port, but it's not enabled for you to do external monitoring or recording. So, but just please bear that in mind. So not every single camera can do that, but for that matter, it's actually better for the cameras that I just mentioned, which are enabled, because these are the newer cameras that also has the fantastic continuous AF. They will allow you, like, you know, really good facial trackings and continuous AF. They will allow you to move around in the frame without having to lose focus, like the EM1X I'm using at the moment. So it's actually fantastic. I can see from the side of the screen, my face is constantly highlighted, so it sees my face really well. So even if I move in and out, it will continue to track me very, very well. So this is something you will like, especially when you're doing live streaming. Also, even more critically, if you go outside, let's say do a wireless stream that I'm going to demonstrate in a minute, you'll see that if I walk in and out, move left and right, you really do relying on the autofocus to work, because there is no second person there, no camera operator to help you doing all the focusing. So this is critical if you are more like a solo guy, you know, doing things like this. So absolutely cool. So Grip has power socket. Oh yes, Hart, you're absolutely correct. Yes, but that depending on what sort of camera you use. Not all the grip would have the power socket. Well, for instance, the EM5 Mark III, and because it has no longer got the power options, you know, having extra batteries and stuff like that. So you do lose the power socket. The power socket actually in the HLD9 vertical grip on for the EM1 series. The EM1X actually do have the built-in AC socket, so you have to get the AC adapter to plug the camera directly. So yes, forgive me, yes, Hart, you're correct. And you can actually use the AC adapter to power the camera while using it if you really want. I'm just more thinking about the USB just because everybody uses USB these days, and also you don't have to have the AC outlet to plug the socket onto the wall. So you're more like a wireless, kind of wireless, more portable solutions. So that's what I was thinking. But thank you for highlighting Hart. That's very good. And let's see what Trevor is saying. That I watched a video last night where a guy used his Sony software to connect the camera and then use the crop the feature in OBS and just to use it. Yes, I saw a guy did that as well. And then yes, currently the software solution is not as reliable, and also you have chop frames and stuff like that, so it's not actually very good. I'm going to demonstrate at the moment why the especially for the Hollyland 400S is so good at what it does at the moment, and because it will give you a very high quality and very low latency streaming that will allow you to really do a lot of live demonstration away from the computer, which is critical if you want to kind of take your live stream to the next level rather than just purely looking directly into the screen. And you can actually go outside and things like that, as long as it has the connection. So you have to test where you put the transmitter, for instance, because you will need a line of sight if you want to have the maximum range. Other than that, you know, it's pretty reliable around the house, and but try not to go through too many walls and things like that. And like say, if I walk around the house, it will lose signal. So I'm trying to keep my range relatively short just to demonstrate that it works really well for this particular unit. And gut is the autocorrect. No problem, mate. Right, okay, and so far so good. Hopefully you guys are so far understand everything that I just mentioned. And now comes to, so I talked about the camera now, and what sort of setting you would like to set up for the streaming. Well, like I mentioned, at this moment in time, because of the Facebook compression and all the other streaming software, most likely I'm going to do in 1080. I'm not going to do 4K stream because there is limited amount of platform that allow you to do full absolute 4K streaming. And also that is also down to the your broadband as well. You know, your broadband, especially in the UK, our broadband is still really rubbish, to be quite honest. You know, I have about 6 megabyte upload speed, so like, I'm kind of limited by that. So that's the bottleneck. I mean, I can do 4K, but I don't want to do 4K because you simply cannot push it through quick enough, and you have a lot of chop frames, and ultimately you may not have a reliable connection. So I downgraded to 1080 just in case that anything happens. But 1080 is actually perfectly fine for streaming. You can still see things really clearly at the moment. So that is okay, that's not a problem. So that's all you need to know. Set to 1080 for all the cameras output. What is good. It doesn't really matter whether it's good. 24, 50, 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second is actually okay, regardless. So this really depends on your experience and how you usually shoot your videos. You know, it's really up to you. I personally like the traditional cinematic stuff, so I do it in 24 frames per second in everything. And this is also why I'm going to tell you a little bit more other accessories that I need to use for when we're going outside in a minute. So, okay, so audio-wise, it's up to you. You know, you can use your built-in computer mic, or you can use your camera mic, or you can use something slightly more professional, whether it's going to be a proper, you know, proper mic. Or at this for this particular demonstration, I'm using a wireless mic at the moment because I'm going to go outside. So I have hooked up with my lav mic with the Rode Video Go, Wireless Go, which is a wireless system. Very affordable, very effective. The range is really good. So so I use this at the moment. It's very tiny, and just quickly show you exactly what I mean here. And just let me just see if I can go this way. All right. Okay. So this is basically what I have at the moment. You can see that the this is the wireless go. This is the EM1X that I'm streaming at the moment using the 12mm f2 Pro, and you can see the connection hook up there, and that's all the way to my computer, and you can see that exactly what I'm doing, and that's it. So very straightforward, and I do have a key light here. I do have a key light. This is the newer something 400 LED. I think that's what is. One of the reasons that I choose that is because it's very effective, very affordable, very cheap, and it does the job really brilliantly. And I have the softbox there, and it does soften the light quite a bit, which I quite like. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of harsh shadow on your. Especially I wear glasses, so it will have these horrible lines everywhere on my face. That's why I use the newer, including the softbox. I think it's less than £100 or something. It's actually quite affordable. So it's a really good key light, especially for Cheng. In video terms, it's very different to photography, right? Photography, you're using only one frame at a time, but when you do videoing, it's a constant thing. So you don't really want to have these trying to rely on an outside source too much, because the light is changing constantly, where there's going to be suddenly there's a cloud coming over and the light level dims, and you really want a more consistent look, so you want to have a key light just in case. Oh, Birana, hello, good afternoon. Yeah, I think you guys say 1080 is good enough. Everybody can see it. That's correct. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, when I'm streaming in 1080 on Facebook, it looks really, really nice. But after the streaming, when you're trying to play back, it would revert back to like 640 or something like that. It's just really horrible and low quality. That's why, you know, if you guys want to see higher quality stream from this particular series, you can go back to my personal YouTube page, and there's all the archives are there at higher quality, that 2.7K. So it's really good. And one thing about this particular software that I'm using now, it allows you to actually record your streaming at the same time and at much higher quality. At the moment, I'm recording at 2.7K, so it's actually really, really high quality. So it's actually not bad at all. And an EPL range targeted at vlogger, and you can't plug a mic in. No, in that case, you can still use the wireless mic plugged directly to your computer. Remember, this is a streaming. You don't always have to rely on the camera's audio input. You can actually set up the audio input from the computer, so you can plug anything to your computer. Not necessarily you need the camera. So in the software, it does allow you to choose your audio input source. So you can choose from, like I mentioned, you can choose from direct to computer or anything that is plugged into the computer. A lot of the USB mics are supported now, so you can just plug it in. You'll see the audio option highlighted, and from the drop-down menus, you can just choose whatever input audio input source that you would like to choose. In this particular case, you can use absolutely anything. But for me, for my convenience purposes, I just hook it up to the computer, hook it up to the camera, because that's how I usually shoot and vlog anyway. So just a slightly more easy thing for me to do. So far, I hope everything is good and easy to understand. So let me now demonstrate the wireless stuff, shall we? So before I go out, I want to show you exactly what it looks like. So this, I have the EM1 Mark III right here, and I have everything attached to it. So this is the Hollyland 400S. It's their consumer grade, but I mean, I would say actually professional, to be quite honest, but they list it as a consumer level grade transmitter and receiver. It's fully metal, it's really high quality built there, and for what it is, it's absolutely cheap compared to other high-end products out there, because these things can run into thousands, you know, and because wireless transmitters are very, very a specialist item in the video world, but this is actually not bad at all. And I'm going to already put the link in the description, so you can click on it and check on the entire set, you know, the information, the capabilities, because I don't want to repeat all the technical specification. You can have everything listed there. You can check it out yourself in your own time. But at the moment, I hooked it already with HDMI to HDMI, so you can see that the cable is coming up from the camera's HDMI port to the actual receiver. So you can, it uses Eddy Sony battery, so I'm pretty sure quite a few of you, if you do videos, you probably have a lot of these lying around anyway, so it's very good. The wireless receiver, which is right here, I'm using AC adapter at the moment, because it's actually very good, because you actually plug in AC, the adapter is already included, so you don't have to run the battery there. You can run the battery through this and having complete wireless solution, But while I'm sitting down I mean, at home, so like, I mean, I have continuous power, so I don't have to worry about battery issues. So I just have the battery on the camera and not on the receiver. So that is all good. Everything's automatic. Once you turn it on, it's automatically looking for each other, set the channel that is less have less interference. Everything's automatic. You don't even need to do anything in terms of frame rate. It's automatically tuned into whatever frame rate that you set from the HDMI port. The only thing you can set, and or you need to set, or you want to set, is the image quality. So you have three options there. You have basically you have picture priority, you have speed priority, or you have somewhere in between. At the moment, I'm doing somewhere in between, so it has the kind of like the best speed and also best image quality as much as possible. The actual unit itself, we're trying to determine everything, all the compressions and things like that between the transmission. So it's actually very clever stuff. Obviously, I'm not a techie guy, so I don't quite understand. All I need to do is to connect, making sure everything works properly. So okay, let's see what everybody's saying here. And Burana, EM103 can use dummy battery, and yes, you can use dummy battery. You can actually buy them from Olympus as well. So fantastic. Okay, so shall we do a live stream demo, and let's go outside and see how this thing works. So I also have an ND filter. That's another thing that you may want to invest if you're doing a live stream, for instance, because well, you don't really need to technically. I mean, it depends how cinematic you want your footage to look, because I said I'm shooting 24 frames per second. So when you go outside, it's going to be way too bright for the stuff that I want to achieve. So I would use a ND filter to cut the light down a little bit. So I'm going to slap it on. Now, this, by the way, this is actually pretty cool. So Ralph actually asked me about this. So this is the Manfrotto Zoomy magnetic filter adapter. So once you put the adapter ring onto the lens and also the filter, all you need to do, instead of screwing on, you just slap it on, because it's all magnetic. So that's it. You know, take it out, put it back. Fantastic, right? Cool. All right. Okay, I'm going to go outside now. I'm going to switch over to my live cam. There you go. That's my live cam now. Okay, I'm gonna go outside. You can see me, you can still hear me, because everything is running wirelessly. So, all right, I'm gonna just check on the see, it's very bright, so I need to turn my ND filter all the way to maximum, so you can see me. Fantastic. Right, okay. Let me try to hold my camera properly like this. It's really bright again. Right, okay, so I've done this demo before, so, oh, it's really bright outside, so I'm not, I was going to sit on there because it's actually really nice, but at the moment, because it's too bright, so I'm going to just do it on my tripod and set it off and standing in the shade, because obviously it's really better standing in the shade a little bit more. Okay, right, okay, looks good, everything looks good, right? Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me better. Right, I'm just angling the computer a bit better, and I'm going to have to possibly dial down a little bit. So shooting 1.8 because still very, very bright. Today the sun has come back, and it's really gorgeous out here. The summer has returned. Last week it was horrible, absolutely horrible. So this is the wireless setup. I'm now using the Hollyland 400S directly streaming, connecting to the computer. In terms of the setup, is very, very similar to the wired version that you saw earlier when I was connecting to my EM1X. So you still need to have the capture card, because the capture card is the essential kind of in-between connection from the HDMI input to the computer. So you do need that dongle or the capture card for this to work. So once you're connecting to the receiver, the Hollyland receiver, then you just basically run the HDMI cable to the capture card. And the capture card will usually have a USB connection that will go straight into the computer. So once it's all set up, the software should be able to detect, you know, the input stream, and you can just basically switch over to the wireless solution. So you can see that it's really cool. One thing about I talked about the camera is the continuous AF. You can see that it's really cool now. If I really walk closer, I'm just checking the screen, so it's focusing on my face. If I do left and right, it'll still track me really, really well. I walk away again. Ta-da! It's all automated, and this is something people have overlooked about the effectiveness and usefulness on the latest EM1 Mark III, and this is exactly why I think a lot of the photographers may not quite understand this particular feature for video purposes. This is fantastic for, especially for people who are doing a lot of solo work like myself. This is absolutely brilliant. That means I don't need another operator behind the camera to track the focus, and this just works perfectly. And I can do demo, like you can show my hands, and then it should be able to, oh, there you go, focus on my hand and go back in, and you should see my face and go straight into my face again. Fantastic. So let me just see, I've got my phone here. Let's see if there's any other, oops. Let's see if there is any other comments. I can't see any comments. Oh, and Ladia is here. Hello. And fantastic stuff. Wave. Oh, I've got a lot of wave here. And so I'm going to send all the waves up. Let's see if everybody... oh, Paul is here as well. Fantastic. Hello, Paul. And... fantastic. Okay, that's good. And right, okay, I actually can't see the comments here. I'll have to go back in a minute to check on the comment. So I want to just talk a little bit about more the 400S. Is that the current setting that I mentioned is the balance mode. So basically it has the best compromise between the image quality and speed. I can see that it's still actually perfectly okay because for live streaming purposes, I don't need to show the high quality images unless I'm doing some, let's say, live demonstration where the smoothness of the transmission is less critical, and I'll use the high quality demonstration. Let's say if I want to go out to shoot some bugs on the leaves and things like that, and I would like to set it in highest quality imagery, and speed if you need to run a lot and then just to basically show the motion, and then you choose the speed over any other modes that I mentioned. But for me, for what I'm doing, I think the balance mode is actually the perfect setting for it. Yeah, this is really, really wonderful. The reason is I think that this would take your live streaming game to another level, is that you are not really hooked and connecting to the computer anymore. You can actually walk around here and to see everything, just show your audience what you're seeing as well, and which is fantastic, right? Range, like I mentioned, and you do need a line of sight to maximize the range. It does say that it's about 100, I think 100 feet, 100 meters. You go and check out the website. I cannot remember exactly how the range is, but it's very far enough that you can almost disappear in the garden, but only when there's a line of sight. Also, when there is no other wireless interferences. So where I'm living at the moment is there are a lot of houses around here. I'm pretty sure that if you go onto the Wi-Fi search, there are probably about 100 different hotspots around here. So I know the interference is severe around here. So it may not work as well or as far as I want to. But if let's say if you go to a filming location where the Wi-Fi interference isn't significant, or any other radio sources, you may find it just about okay. So other than that, it's still very flexible. I mean, I can walk as far as the end of my path here, and I can also go to my right here to my garden to the end, and it will still work very well. But as soon as I go kind of beyond that point, that if you turn right and to the corner of the building, the wireless signal will drop, only because it's going through two brick walls here, and then I'm pretty sure because of the brick wall, it just cuts off all the signals, so it doesn't work properly. But other than that, it's actually very reliable. I can show you anything around in my garden, and including leaves and stuff. Maybe I could show you just in case if I want to show you guys something. And let me see if I can unhook the computer. So if I want to do a demonstration, let's say to do a garden shots and stuff like that, and I can easily do that. Ooh, look at that, it's super bright. And definitely overkill now. I'm trying to turn it down a little bit. So let's say I have the plant here. If you want to go close, you can really see I can do all this stuff around my garden. So if I ever see a really horrible spider or something, I will be able to tell you, oh, there are some bugs in, some flies, if you can get something. Let's see. I know you can see it. Oh, where does it go? Okay. I don't know. You kind of. I think you guys get what I mean, yeah. And my garden is looking like a mess at the moment, so I don't want to show you my garden. And yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was going to do my garden up in this spring. You know, we were gonna thinking about hiring a gardener, because we moved into this house late last year, so it was still new. And everything is not touched. You know, the garden's just looking horrible. We need to redo the fences and stuff like that. But once it's all done, I can kind of visualize that my garden should look pretty nice. But at the moment, it doesn't. It looks like a dump. And so that's why I'm really reluctant to show my garden. I mean, but it will be done at some point. Hopefully when this thing's, you know, it's over, and I'll be able to do some work around here and get someone here to re-landscape the back garden here to make it a little bit more presentable, and I can do a lot more live stream stuff outdoor, maybe even live demo and all kinds of stuff, light painting. You know, I want to do some light painting demo. That would be really cool, right? Okay, cool. I'm gonna head back inside now and to check on my computer, and also to see what other comments you may have. And if any other question, please leave some comment now. I should be able to answer you. So I'm gonna switch back to my, actually no, I'm switching back. I'm taking this camera back in, and I will be able to continue the conversation indoor. Right, let's see. Okay, I'm back indoor. And there we go. Wow, la la. Okay, awesome. Okay, don't forget your mask. Well, I don't need a mask, Burana. I'm in my garden, and so that will be all right. I have a thunderstorm here, rain in Bangkok. We had really terrible weather last week, and but this week it looks quite gorgeous. That everything seems to be working really well. But I can see that the wireless streaming does work fantastically well, and it's definitely fairly portable. And as a matter of fact, there's one thing I also haven't mentioned, is that this unit can allow you to connect to your smartphone as well, and so you can actually monitor the live stream through the smartphone app, so you can see exactly what's going on your smartphone. So it's cool because when you don't have your, let's say you don't have the screen, you don't have you know, your computer next to you, you can still use a smartphone to see things. Really cool. So I think this is something to think about if you guys think about like live streaming, maybe thinking something really creative. For filmmakers like myself, the wireless unit is really handy. So if you're in the industry, I think obviously you would have an external recorder, you will have an external monitor, and wireless streaming will possibly another unit that you would like to acquire, depending on your business needs. It's really good for the creative directors, or to see how you're filming and things like that, so you can see the angle. They might want to make some comments about certain things. Let's say they will say, oh, let's concentrate on the detail a little bit. I would like the detail or the shot to be a little bit more moody. It's all available when you want to do that, and because they can see exactly what where you're pointing the camera to, exactly see what's happening live. And this is really useful, because otherwise, without these sort of units, and they can't see it live or whatever the cameraman is seeing. And that would mean that they will have to tell you the comments after you film and edit the stuff, which is actually always really bad, because then you're wasting a lot of time. You have to go back and forth and redo, reshoot. So everything when they're happening live, and that means they can have real inputs in real time. That's why they're very important in the filming world. So, and let's, oops, sorry, Trevor, you won't have time to do the garden when lockdown is lifted. Too much photography to do. Perhaps, yeah, and I know, but then I'll just have to hire a gardener to come and sort out the stuff. But either way, you know, I really want to, you know, get it done so I can do something outside rather than always stuck in indoor. Let's say some live stream stuff that I can actually sit in the garden and do things, and that would be really cool, right? When the sun is out and you just want to go and have some fun and so have a beer, have a barbecue together. Okay, cool stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream demo and then also streaming demo. If you do have any question whatsoever, please do leave me a comment, and let me know exactly what you'd like to know about setup, or any problem that you may run into. Then you let me know as well, and I will be able to answer you accordingly. But everything else, hopefully, is all good, because I do say that yesterday, if the weather is good, I'm going to go outside do a live stream demo, and it is very good today, so that's why I went outside, enjoy a little bit of a fresh air, and also show you how good and how smooth the wireless streaming can be if you use the correct units. And I have to say that, you know, from a lot of the stuff that I used before, the Hollyland 400S is actually by far one of the best units out there, and also in terms of affordability, it's definitely very, very good compared to other high-end stuff that you can find on the market. It's definitely good for small production, small companies and small filmmakers like myself. You know, it's not going to be breaking your bank, so to speak, because at the end of the day, it's all business investment. But it also fantastically well for this live stream stuff. You know, like I was actually shocked how useful it can be for demonstrating live contents, especially. So I was thinking about doing some live demonstration for like some shooting, for instance. I want to shoot portraits. I want to tell you exactly how it works and things. So hopefully this will come when I can organize a model coming to my house, and I will start maybe doing some sort of live demonstration when all this lockdown things is finished. How's that sound? That might be very good, right? Cool stuff. All right, thank you very much again for joining me. Once again, tomorrow we're going to have brand new content. Tomorrow, don't forget, is Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday I usually have a Red 35 YouTube channel live stream at 3 p.m. So join me there. We're going to talk about photographer, you know, Michael Four Thirds stuff. So if you are into Michael Four Thirds, of course, you know, you are very welcome to join me there. Have a really good and happy and fun discussion. You know, every week seems to be having attracted quite a few people just to talk about things, and I get so interactive. And also I got tired towards the end because I talked about like 1.5 to 2 hours minimum for every stream, and by the end of it I was actually absolutely exhausted. So tomorrow hopefully we're gonna have another good stream in the afternoon, but again tomorrow also have the morning one like this one today, and it will be completely different topics. So stay tuned for my post about what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow later on today. So that's all good. And also you can follow me on my this way here. Yep, my show here. You can follow me on Instagram and other things, and you can also buy me coffee if you want to. I have lots of links everywhere there. You can't click on these links, unfortunately, so if you physically type it in. And I have all the link about the products that I'm demonstrating today. The Hollyland 400S is already in the description. You can check out also Olympus gears if you are first and new here about the Olympus stuff. So yeah, all the links are all down there. You can check out my pages, is also down there. And of course, my YouTube channel, Red 35, is also down in the description. Anyway, whew. A lot of talking today. Cool. Right, tomorrow I'm going to show you guys some photos, and but I haven't decided what sort of topic I want to talk about yet. So if you want to have some more specific stuff, let me know in the comment down below, and I will be able to assess whether I have the necessary supportive elements and contents to back up a stream for tomorrow. So let me know what you guys want to hear, and I'll be able to talk about it. Anyway, so thank you very much for tuning in. I will be able to speak to you guys again tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning, BST, British summertime. It is the summertime, right? It's so bright out there. Excellent. See you guys later and enjoy the day. Have fun. Bye for now.